Hi, this is Debra Dixon-Kinzer with Lupus Online Video Magazine. Today we're going to talk about gas, inflection, spasms. Okay. I was contacted by a viewer about spasms, and I do apologize that it's taken me a couple of days because I've actually been going through some personal things myself, and yeah, I had to take care of those first, and I do apologize about that. So, what causes spasms? Well, what causes spasms are gases that's trapped in our body along with fluid. Okay? So the fluid allows the gases to move through your body, okay, causing spasms. Now, why do I say that? Who do I know that's gone through this? Well, myself. I've gone through it. Now, I gave a lengthy explanation as to what to try, okay? But I failed to give you one that I am almost absolutely positive will actually help you with these intensive, increasingly demanding spasms. Okay? Now, like I said, water in your body, retention of water in your body, will cause gases to move through your body, which will pretty much give you that spasmodic feeling in your body. Okay, now, what is it that causes the water retention to begin with? We have to start at the beginning in order to get to the end. The beginning is not pretty, and neither is the end. Okay, and anything in between it, well, it's offered to a solution that can actually help you to maintain, retain, and sustain your life with lupus. Okay? Now, do I know that it works? Yes, I do know that it works because I have tried this myself. If you knew what I looked like before, you would know that some transformation must have taken place in order for me to get to looking like this now. Now, when I say that, it's because my face was rounder, it was much more fuller, and as someone, which will not be named here, although they no longer exist in this world, said once to me, they used to call me pie face. Okay? Um, yeah, I did have my face did look like a big old pie, because I had gained so much weight. Now, why did I gain weight? Several reasons. But one of the main reasons was because I was not only drinking a lot of water, but I was not expelling the water as my body should have. Okay? Now, why does your body not expel the water the way it needs to? It's because your body is full of more salt minerals than it needs to be. Okay? So we naturally have salt in our body. Okay? But if we add more salt and stuff to our food, it's going to cause water retention. How do you get rid of water retention? My favorite foods, berries. There's a lot of other things out there too, but those are my favorite, okay? And they move them quickly. Specifically, raspberries, cranberries, and believe it or not, grapes. Well, I love grapes too. I especially love the seedless grapes. The white seedless grapes actually help you to release more water out of your body. Okay? Now, it's a good thing because you can take them in. Okay? You can take in water to help your body. the water helps to flush other things out of your body. But if you can't move that water out of your body on its own, naturally, then you will end up retaining that water. So, do I say water? Yes. Salt? Yes, will retain the water. You have to be careful of how much salt you put in your food, how much salt you put in anything that you make. You know, some people, believe it or not, because they don't like the flavor of something, they would add salt to it, such as watermelon. Watermelon would also help release the water out of your body, okay? But you don't want to add the salt to it because you're trying to get rid of it, right? Okay, that said, moving on. Ah, gases. Gas, you say? Yeah, I say gas. Okay, why are the gases, Deborah? Okay, well, let me tell you why. Because there are foods that will cause gas to maintain and retain itself in your body, okay? Um, so you have your meats, your red meat, which, oh, I always talk about beef, but I don't talk about, the other thing, okay? I don't talk so much about the other thing. So I'm going to tell you about beef is heavy, pork is heavy, lamb or veal is heavy, venison is very heavy, okay? Those are 4 different types of meat that will take more than, well, with the exception of pork, the other 3 will take 30 days to break down in your body. So let's talk about that for 1 second, okay? I'm not going to say 1 second because my speeches about these are not 1 second long, and I do apologize for that. However, in order for me to be able to teach you what I have learned, then you have to understand that there's a story behind every single thing that I teach. So I apologize in advance for my lengthy and, what do they call it? Oh, she's long-winded. Okay. I will be long-winded to teach you a lesson, okay? And it's not something that's going to hurt you. At least I don't feel that it's going to hurt you. And if it does, please let me know and say, hey, Deborah, that hurt my feelings, okay? But it's not intended to hurt you. It's more intended to help you, okay? So beef, veal, venison, okay, will all stay in your body for 30 days, okay? The first time that you eat it. So let's say that it's the first day of the month, okay? And you have eaten some beef or pork, or just add pork in it, Deborah. Oh my goodness. Beef, pork, venison, and veal, okay? Any of those that you take into your body the first day of the month, and then you wait 2 to 3 days. It's going to be 30 days for that first one to go out. Okay? So we intake and we exfoliate. Okay? That means take it in, you eat it, and it has to come out some other way, so it's going to expel out of your body. Okay? So you eat that beef, pork, venison, or veal on, what month is this? This is November. Let's say November 1st. You had all of these, or at least one of them. The next day, one day you had beef, one day you had pork, one day you had veal, one day you had venison. Okay? You have just incorporated, let me see, 60, 90, 120 days for all of that to expel out of your body. That's what you created. How? Actually, it's less than 130 days, 120 days, because it'll take 15 days for pork to pass through your body, because it's easier to break down than beef. Okay? So let's say 30, 60, 90 plus 15 is what? 120. 5? Yeah, 105 days. It's going to take for all that to break down in your body. Okay, so why do I say that? Well, like I said, it takes, that long for it to break down into your body. Beef, veal, and venison 30 days, and pork 15 days to break down through the system. Okay? Um, while it's in your system, it causes a blockage. So when you intake food, the first place it goes is not to the small intestine, but to the large intestine. And yes, this is going to be a science video today. We're talking science today, okay? So, because we have to understand how the body works. So this is more, it's in the scientific field. So we'll call this health lesson number 1, okay? I think that I'll do that. Yeah, let's name that health lesson number 1, all right? So once you take those foods in and everything, it's going to take that long for it to break down. Now, meantime, between time, all the other days, we're eating a little healthier, okay? So we're ingesting other foods behind all of that, or even the same day that we had that. All those foods are going to be, okay, yeah, we're consuming, oh, it was so good. Oh, Debra, that steak you made with them potatoes, mashed potatoes, and broccoli, oh, that was great. Or those green beans, that was fantastic. Okay? Whatever you decided to cook with your mashed potatoes and your steak, whatever those vegetables are that you're consuming, okay? Remember, whatever order you eat it in is the order that's going to come out. Yeah. I say that because that's exactly how it happens. Okay? Think about this. Larger foods go in one way, smaller things. Okay, this is how it works in your body. Your heavier items go over here, and the lighter items go over here. So when we, like, let's say that we're packing groceries in the store. So you go to your freezer department, you go grocery shopping, you put all your meats in here, and when they pack them up in your bags and everything, your grocery bags, they put all their meats together, they put all the vegetables together, they put all their salt, everything goes, together, okay? So you got your meats, your solids, and your liquids, right? And they all go in different bags together, okay? Well, that's how it breaks down in your body. Your meats, your solids, and your liquids. Ah, yeah. Science incorporated with everyday products and everyday living. Okay? And the body. Wow. How did that happen? Well, that's how our body was made up. When God made our bodies, that's how He made it up. Okay? So now we've got all these things going on in our body and everything, and now we have, we're feeling full and everything, and oh, we're so relaxed, and we just sit back and, let's just, you know, salivate in that first meal, okay? So we do whatever we have to do, and we notice that we have not had a bowel movement that day. And even if you did have a bowel movement that day, you got to think about this, okay? Every day we're supposed to have a bowel movement, it is good for the body. And it's good for the body because it helps break up all the things that are in there. Now, let's say after those first 4 days, after we had those heavy meals and everything, because we're still feeling a little heavy and bloated, and, it does tend to rob you of your energy. Okay, it does that. You're right, it does do that. Think about it now. You think about it. After a very great meal and everything, now we're, feeling sluggish and everything. Now remember, you have lupus. And if you're not the one that has lupus, but you know someone who has lupus, or you know somebody who you're caring for that has lupus, think about this. All right? What did they eat? Or what did you eat? Or what's going on with them? Okay? Because it will rob you of your energy. With lupus, Anything heavy will make you sluggish. It'll make you tired. It'll make you abnormal. Okay? So we want to live a normal life with lupus, right? Okay. So here we go. Day 7 comes along. All right? And we said, well, you know what? I don't want anything solid. I want to eat, a little lighter. So you choose salads and soups and stuff like that, thinking that it's going to make you feel better. Now, the soup might help you feel better depending on what kind of soup it is. If you have the beef in your soup, or the veal in your soup, or venison in your soup, or the pork in your soup, the liquid part may feel okay, but think about the solid part of that liquid, that soup. Okay? What was in it? And also think about this too, because this does play a major role in everything. Now, I talk about fruits and vegetables, and I talk about all these different little things and stuff like that, that you can have, the herbs and stuff like that. But I never tell you really about processed versus fresh. Now, back in the I think it was 30s or 40s, something like that they first incorporated canned substances. Okay? So they started selling canned goods and everything. But what they didn't tell you is that how much salt goes into that and how much other preservatives goes into that in order to preserve those things so that they can sit on the shelf. Okay? Those processed foods do more damage to our body. Those that have lupus or any other disease or disorder. I call them disorders because to me that's what it is, a disorder, because I can control it. The medical field calls it a disease because that's what it is to them, because they don't have any control over it. Now, what my definition of disorder is something that you can control. You're inherited, it is inherited through your body, okay? But it's uncontrollable, or mine is controllable. A disorder is something that is inherited and controllable with long-term care. A disease is something that is contagious. What did I say? A disease is something that is contagious and uncontrollable and committed to science to find a cure for it. Yes, the disorder, they're looking for a cure for lupus, but it is not contagious and it is controllable. It is controllable when you have the knowledge. It is controllable when you know what there is, that there is a way to control how you feel when you are going through those things everyday life. Okay? A disease you cannot control. Okay? And sometimes, they say you can control it with medication, but sometimes you cannot control it with medication. Okay? So there's the difference for me. I apologize right now to the medical field. I do not, and I have to take time out, y'all, so bear with me while I give this disclaimer. I do not hold a medical degree in human body, okay? I have never gone to school for science except for high school and summer college. I did not choose the medical field. The medical field is choosing me. Why do I say that? I say that because I'm here teaching you all about something that's real life to me that I have experienced myself. I would not be on here on this platform or any other platform discussing something that I myself have not lived through, or I myself has not discovered was going to help myself and many other people in this world. It took me 15 years to decide that I can teach people how to live with lupus. I struggled with this for years because I knew that I was sustaining my life. And I think that through the grace of God, okay, that I am able to come here to this year made my mind up to get out here and start talking about something that can help people live, because there's so many people in this world that now has lupus or has discovered that they had lupus and didn't know. They have been suffering for years. People have been dying from this for years. People have gone through crap for years with lupus and did not know. They didn't know. So, back on schedule. I do apologize, but I have to say that because there's a lot of people out here that think that I'm a doctor. They think that I have a doctoral degree in science or something like that, or psychology. No. Thank you, CTU. I'm going to give that shout out to y'all because you guys put me through so much when it came to my classes and everything, because I took so many doggone psychology and sociology classes. I thought I was going to be majoring in that, I really did. Yes, I did. But thank you to you all. Now, back to the subject. Your body cannot live holding in A, water, B, gases. You feel like you cannot live with the spasms, and that I truly understand. Now, I had 2 doctors. I have more than that, trust me. I have more than 2 doctors, but 2 doctors that gave me a word of advice, okay? And I love my doctors. I talk about my doctors all the time. I've never told y'all what my doctor's name because, no, they did not give me permission to do that, okay? But I am going to tell you this. I love them so much. These men and women of the medical field have really, 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 really helped Debra Dixon-Kinzer. Okay? So I'm going to just tell you this. They told me, Debra, if you have gas in your body, I suggest to you clearly and substantially to allow that gas to expel out of your body. Now, here's our science. I wish I had one too. I wish I had one. I don't have any balloons. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you this experiment, okay? And all y'all know about balloons, okay? So we have a balloon. And let's say we fill it with helium. Okay? You fill the balloon up with helium. And it does what? It expands. Correct? That's a gas. Now, if we let that gas out by, let's say that we just held it together with the helium inside, and we let it go, and can you see that? Can you all see that? Okay, you slowly, okay, see it's closed up like this, and you slowly let it go, and it starts releasing. So a little bit of air is going to come out of the hole, and it makes a sound. Okay? That's releasing of gases, so that's an influx. Okay? So you're going to, or influx, fluctuate, whatever you want to call it. I think it's influx, okay? Even though it's not going in, it's coming out, all right? And it makes a sound, all right? It's not pretty, but because there's nothing else behind that air in that balloon, you smell nothing, okay? But if you put, this is our science, y'all. You're in science class right now. If you put, let's say, food in that has sat for a while, and you stick that food in there, and then you put the um, helium inside the balloon, and it, first it's like this, and then you put the helium in, it starts building up and building up and building up until it's a big balloon, all right? And you can see that food inside of it, right? You can see the food inside the balloon. You don't believe me? I would like for you guys to do an experiment, okay? This is your science. We're going to give you a science test, and then I want you to come back on here, and I want you to give me the results of your science, okay, project, okay? Give me your results of your science project, because I want to prove something to you all right? So, you take the balloon, you fill it up with old vegetated food, that's been sitting out, just sitting around or whatever. You fill it up, close it up, tie it up, do whatever you want to do to it, okay? And let it sit. Do not refrigerate. I just want you to just even if you blow air into it from your body with the food inside of the balloon, you have to have the food in the balloon. Now, make sure when you put the food in the balloon, I want you to put fresh, after you've cooked it or whatever, but don't let it be hot because you put it inside. You put hot food into a balloon, it's going to burst anyways because of the heat, okay? So let's just say that you had food or whatever. Even if you had leftovers in your refrigerator, okay, and you put it in there. I want you to put beef in there. I want you to put a vegetable and whatever else that you would like to put in there. Okay, just put it in there. Just put it in there. Okay, we're trying an experiment. We are going to do an experiment today. Okay, and we're doing this experiment because we're trying to figure out what's happening to our body. Okay, so this is going to be an experiment to show you what happens to the lupus body. Now, all of you health historians out there, your medical doctors and everything, if you're watching this video, and I'm going to make sure that you're going to have access to this video because I'm going to place it in a part that you're going to see this, okay? And I want you to understand that I do know what I'm talking about, okay? Now, fill the balloon with the food, blow it up. And for this experiment, we're not even going to wait 30 days on this one, okay? Because this is about gas right now, all right? This is about the gas in our body and what happens if, the differences, okay? Have one balloon that's filled up with nothing in it but air or helium, okay? And the other one, I want you to fill it with food and air or helium, okay? Either way you do it, I want both of those done. That is, 2 parts of this experiment that we are doing, okay? And the reason why we're doing this is because I want you to get the full effect of what I am explaining to you on this video today, all right? And then you're going to understand, and you're going to be able to explain this to somebody else, all right? So, here we go. Put food in there. Put the one without the food, the one with food, blow it up, and let it sit out. Just let it sit there. Okay? Now, first of all, if you do a clear balloon, you'll be able to see all the different things that are happening on the inside of that balloon with food in it. Disgusting. Okay? You'll see the breakdown. You'll see the breakdown. If you want to do the experiment for 30 days, by all means, please do the experiment for 30 days. All right? But the whole point of this experiment currently, and when you tie that knot, when you tie the knot into the balloon, don't tie it so tight that you cannot get it off. Okay? I don't want the balloon to pop, all right, when we're finished with this experiment, okay, for however many days that you want to do this experiment for. Okay? I'm going to leave the day numbers up to you. But if you do beef, veal, or venison, or even pork, okay, I want you to write it down. Do a journal for me, okay, and tell me what happens. You can do it every day, journal, and say, oh, on this day, day 1, I put the food inside of the balloon, the clear balloon, and I filled it with air or helium, whichever one that you use, okay? Now, day 2. Day 2, no change. Day 3. Day 3, well, there's a little bit of breakup. I see a little bit of what looks like, what appears to be. And like I said, don't put this in the refrigerator. And the reason why I say don't put it in the refrigerator is because our body is not filtered. Our body is not refrigerator. It's a heater, really. Okay? So, day 3, this happened. Such. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. All right? But I want you to see it for yourself. Okay? Now, once you come to the end of your experiment, I want you to untie first the balloon that has been sitting there with nothing in there. I want you to untie that and allow that to expel. And I want you to tell me what you smell. If you smell something, tell me you smell something. If you didn't smell something, you let me know. Then, at the end of your experiment now, this is at the end of your experiment now, you have to do these two simultaneously. You cannot do them, day 1, I'm going to put the air in there and I'm just going to let the air out. No. If you're going to do the experiment with the food as well, I need you to do both of those on the same day at the same time and release them on the same day at the same time, because we're proving a point here today. I've done this. I know the results. I want you to do this because I want you to see the results, because every single thing that happens with our body happens in these balloons. Okay? And they're not even live. But you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, undo the knot in the balloon that had the food in it. And slowly, because you do not want to do this fast, release the air from the balloon and tell me the results of that. I want to know what you see, what you hear, and what you smell. That's what I want. You're saying, I don't know if I really want to do that. Yeah, you do. If you want to learn and understand what I'm talking to you about today, okay, and how our body deals with these results and everything, and what's happening inside our body, then you will not have a problem doing this experiment at all. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to blow your mind at the results. You're going to not only be able to see the physical results of the food that's inside of the balloon, but you will also understand. I won't give it away if I tell it. I'm going to give it away. I want you to do it. I do this, because it's science, man. Am I a science geek? Maybe. I do experiments every now and again just to find out what the results are going to be, and because I'm curious like that. If you're a curious mind, you'll find out. you know? So, anyway, let's go with this. We're going to finish with that. And if you went to medical school and everything, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? No, y'all, you do not have to go to medical school in order to figure this stuff out. You do not have to go to medical school to find out the results to your tests. You do not have to go to medical school to understand how to live with lupus. You do not have to. Okay? I went to school to teach. I went to school to learn the law. Okay? Should I be in law school right now? Probably so. I wish that I was. School's expensive. School's expensive. It's very expensive. Okay? I don't have that kind of money. I had that kind of time, but I don't have that kind of money. Okay? And if it hadn't been for lupus, then I probably would have went on to law school. And I probably could still go to law school. It depends on how well my book sells, you know. But I have other priorities before law school, such as my mother, who has lupus, who is currently in a senior living assistance place or nursing home or whatever it's called. She is down there, and they want to move her to a mental institute. So yes, I'm going to talk to you about that as well, you know, because I need y'all's help. I need your help because I do not want them to move my mother to a mental institute because she is not mentally insane. She has lupus. And if you know anything about lupus, you know that it will cause mental confusion, it will cause memory loss. You know, things will happen and it'll appear that you have Alzheimer's, but you do not have Alzheimer's. And it can kill you. Okay? Everything that I talk about that has to do with lupus, it has been proven that it can kill you. Okay? Gas can kill you living inside your body. Now, with that said, you know, I'm going to move on to what our experiment is and what we're actually talking about here today. Okay? So, today what we're talking about is the water retention, the gas retention, and spasms that are the results of this water retention and gas retention. Okay? If we do not expel these gases from our body, it can kill us because it can move to your heart and cause severe chest pains, which will eventually cause a heart attack. How do I know this? Because it did happen to me. Okay? Remember when I told you all earlier, I don't know if you guys listen to the videos and how well that you really listen to these videos, but I want you to know that I talked to you about having to have some surgery done and everything. I know I talked about it in my book. I think I talked about it in some papers that I wrote, and I believe that I talked about it in some previous videos. Anyways, getting down to the nitty-gritty of things. Okay. The whole big thing of it is that I had too much water in my body. I had too much gas that I was holding in, along with tumors that were holding other things in and everything, which will not allow things to move out. Now, the tumors were going to, you know, go on to another time for those and everything. But right now, those gases in that water is causing spasms to move through your body, and it's causing extreme amounts of pain, and I know how painful these can get. Now, what do you do to get rid of that? Well, there's several things that you can do. You can use an infused tea. Okay, now whether you make it yourself or you go and you buy the little teas that they have, you know, and you go to your local grocery store, and in the aisle where the coffee and tea and, you know, all that stuff that you can make for, you know, to drink and everything is in, that's where you want to get your teas at. Okay, they have already the little packets of teas that are made up with different things. Now, if you read the labels on there, they'll tell you which ones will help you with your body. Now, if you're having problems sleeping, you can get a tea that helps you to sleep. If you're having problems, you know, relaxing, that same tea that you drink, I think it's chamomile. That's what it is. It's chamomile tea that will actually help your body relax. Woo, do I need to relax? Okay? Now, if your body is relaxed, that brings me to this. A tense body, will help keep those water and that gas in your body. But a relaxed body, okay, will help it go out. Now, I was telling you what causes the retention and what causes the gas, okay? Now, I mentioned the meats. I mentioned the water with the salt, okay? But what I did not mention to you is stress. Did you know that the more that your body stresses and builds up, the more that your muscles tend to tighten and do like this? This is what happens to our body, which is what causes things to trap into our body, such as our large intestines and our small intestines. Okay? Now, in a normal body that is stress-free and everything, if you had, we're going to say that this is our large and small intestines. Okay? This is really going to represent our large intestines. And let me see which one's bigger. The bigger one, whichever one it is, this one, is going to represent our large intestine, the opening, okay, at the bottom, that meets up with the smaller intestine. So, okay, let's say that they're in there and they're interlocked like this, see? Locked, all right? It's because our body is stressed out. And it's not allowing anything from the large intestine to move into the smaller intestine, you know? If you was trying to push something through there, you wouldn't be able to get nothing through. Little parts maybe, little tiny particles, see? Little tiny holes. You see that? Little places where little things can go through there, okay? Now, if our body is relaxed and stress-free, we have a little more room. So it'll be open about maybe that far, okay? And it'll allow things to move through the way that it's supposed to. Now, with that said and everything, when we're eating those heavier foods and stuff like that, and our body is like this, that's not going to move through, which will cause a backup, which will cause gas, which will cause a lot of other things. Well, even though that we are intaking all of these foods and everything, even if we had a relaxed system like this, and say our intestines were relaxed, and it's going to allow food particles through, the better that you chew your food, the better that it'll go through. But still, the heavier stuff will go through if you are stressed out, which will cause a backup in your body, which will cause the gas buildup, which when gas builds up and water builds up, when water builds up into your body because of the retention of the salts in that you put in, the intake of the salts that you put into your body causes the water to back up, it's going to cause you to swell. Okay? Now, with that said, if you're so stressed out and you can't move things through, then your body is going to cause gases, which is also going to cause your body to what? Swell. Okay? Now, all these experiments that I'm talking about, they're going to show you a couple of few things, and you are going to be shocked by the surprises, by the results. They're going to shock you. I'm telling you, they're going to shock you. Okay? Now, a relaxed body, again, will allow things to release from your body. Therefore, releasing the water retention, releasing the gases, and releasing anything else that may need to come out, such as the large intestines. Now, if you have not chewed your food well, that could be a factor of why you have gas. That's another factor. So let's say, I'm sorry, y'all, that this is going to be very long, but this is the reason why I did not write this out and type this up, because it's so complicated. Okay, there's so many parts to it, and I call them moving parts, because we're moving along. If you notice that we're moving along to this, and I really didn't go off the tangent too much this time, okay, because it's so important to one of my followers, and I really, really, really want to help. Okay, this is so important to a lot of you out there that I really, 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 really want to help you. Okay? This is not something that I'm just talking about. This is something that is real life. This is something that really can happen. This is something that you really need. Okay? So, with all that said, let's move on. All right? So, like I said, you can do infused teas. Okay? You can go to the store, you get those the little tea things that they sell in the store up there in the aisles, and I'm just going to throw out a couple of names, and no, I do not get paid for endorsements or anything like that, and I'm not endorsing these products. I'm just telling you what works for me. Okay, so at night before I go to bed, sometimes when I'm not, I can't really sleep or anything, I get the tea called Sleepy Time. Then they have this other one called Nighttime, which actually helps release a lot of things, that will help me to relax and stuff. I don't know who makes either one of these. Okay, um, then there's another tea. Well, both of these two teas that I just told you about, the Sleepy Time and the Nighttime thing, um, I think they're made by two different companies, but they both have something in common. Both of them are chamomile tea. Okay. Now, if you know anything about plants and vegetation life and everything like that, and you know that I'm a cook, and sometimes I do go foraging now. You know, you can go out into the wild, natural nature filled, or if you can grow them in your own garden and everything, that you can take these and you can, dry them out, or you can cook them, fresh and everything, and put them into your meal, and they will help all the foods that you eat to go through your body and everything. They will also release any water retention that you have because it relaxes your body. It relaxes it enough to allow these things to pass through. Okay? Now, as far as fruits, vegetables, or anything like that, you have your green products, but you got to remember that your green products will actually cause gas to build up into your body if you're already stressed out and you have not been able to release any of the items that you had in the meat products that you have placed into your body. It will build up, do a gas buildup inside of your body. Yes, it's going to move it through, but if you're stressed out, how can it move it through? So it's going to cause that gas buildup. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Y'all caught it, didn't you? Okay? So we want that stuff to move on through. But we got to make sure that we are relaxed. Now, back in the day when we were growing up and everything, when food couldn't pass through normally and stuff like that, our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents, if you may, would give us this stuff called castor oil. Well, that was back, in 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay? Getting up into, well, and the 70s, because they did it in the 70s as well, but into the 80s and 90s and 2000, they've got this stuff called castoria, castora, castoral. Not castor oil, but castoral. But it's the same thing, different name. Okay? Same thing, different name, works great. Relaxes the body, allows the food to pass through. Tastes nasty as all get out, but it works. Now, do you know when you go get a colonoscopy, and I'm just giving you a little, just a little bit of tidbit and everything, and if you guys in the medical field don't believe me, I'm sure if you're a colonoscopy, a colon doctor, or whatever you want to call you guys self, I don't know the names of these medical things and everything, the terminology and stuff like that, so I am going on layman terms. That is who I am. I'm a layman teacher to help you get through the medical field. Okay? So if you go and get a colonoscopy done, okay, they give you this big jug of stuff that you gotta drink. Right? Now let me tell you what's in there. Is water in there? And castor oil. What you say? Yeah. They put enough castor oil in there, okay, that it would coat your stomach, the linings of your stomach. Okay? And then they put enough water in there that it would help flush it all out. Didn't know that, did you? I had to sit there and think about, what? did I have this flavor before? Because it is nasty. They give you little packets that you put, stuff into to give it flavor and everything. It doesn't help. But y'all know it does not help. But I got the concept. I got the concept down. I understood what was going on. Okay? How did I do that? Because I said, you know what? I had to go do colonoscopy. So the first thing I did was, before I put the flavor packet in there, I wanted to taste it itself. So the flat out raw liquid that they give you, I put a little bit in the cup and I drink it. And I shiver that out, make it all kind of. Ooh, Jesus, no. No, 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 no. We're not going to do it like that. We got to put something in here because ooh, Jesus, no. It was nasty. And if any of y'all have ever tried it, you know what I'm talking about. The flavor packets that they give you helps about just a smidgen, okay? Enough for you to get it down. You have to drink the stuff really, really fast. But it loosens everything up and it pushes everything through. And that's what castor oil or castoria, whichever one that you know it by, that's what that did. Okay? So, we are at the end of our video. I hope that you enjoyed this. I really do pray that you guys will take me up on my experiment and that you would try it and you would come back and you would give us the results. Now, with all of that said, living with lupus is not a joke, okay? I may smile, I may laugh, and I may do all these things on here, and that's because I want you to know that I went through this myself. I'm not just a woman who's coming on here and just talking to you about lupus like I don't know anything about it. I am not a medical doctor, don't profess to be a medical doctor, do not really want to be a medical doctor. I just happen to know by pure, the real life experience that living with lupus is achievable when you have the knowledge and the know-how to get through it. Without getting through it, you cannot understand what's happening. And without understanding, how can you cope with it? How can you live with it? If you have lupus, follow me. If you know someone who has lupus, follow me, have them follow me. You can help them too. Simply by telling them about Living with Lupus Online Video Magazine. Do you know that out of all of the lupus sites that you go to, that this is the only, I love it, the only place that can sit here and talk to you about real life experiences and give you a real life situation and an answer to your questions about lupus. I don't just talk about it. I give you a solution. I offer you a solution. I offer you what I did myself to get to this beautiful face here, because my face used to look like a big old pie. Okay? Because of all the things that I used to take in and not know, oh, how am I going to get this out of me? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, this is what I did. Okay? So, I love you all. I'm here for you. If you have lupus, you know someone who has lupus, or you're caring for someone who has lupus, and they don't have the answers that they need, and they need an answer to a question, let them know about Living with Lupus Online Video Magazine. Let them know that there's somebody here that can help them. You're not alone in your journey. This is my journey that I'm going through with you. I have no real idea unless you tell me what you're going through. But I can share with you all, honestly share with you all what I went through. Now, do I have all the answers? No, I do not have all the answers. I do not profess to even know what all the answers are. But I can tell you that I have gone through almost every conceivable thing, including the brink of death with lupus. Now, why am I here? I ask myself that every day. And you know what the answer is? This is what God told me my answer was. You're here because people out there need you. Yeah, I'm his servant. If you knew exactly what I went through in my entire life, and if you stick on here long enough, you may just find out every single thing that I ever went through. I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry, y'all. It's incredible. My story is so incredible. Why I'm here today. You are not alone in your journey with lupus. This is Debra Dixon-Kinzer with Living with Lupus Online Video Magazine. If you have any questions or any comments, leave them here. If there's something that you want to talk to me about but you do not want to post it on the comment line, feel free to drop me a line. If you need a support group or someone that you want to talk to about lupus and everything, I have a support group online. And right now I may have only there's a few people that are on there, but these are people that just have questions and just want answers, but really do not comment on them. And it's called Living with Lupus Magazine at Facebook, on Facebook, and it's a private community. So anything that's said on there is going to remain private. Okay? It won't be shared with anybody else except for the people in that group. I also have another one on Facebook, and it is an open forum to the public and everything, and people can subscribe to it if they want. And every once in a while, I post different things, but I do post my videos on there. You can find my videos on there if you're not looking just on YouTube, and that's called Living with Lupus Online Video Magazine on Facebook, okay? I also have a Twitter account. How do I let you all talk me into things? I don't know. But I do have Twitter, and basically on there, I do little surveys on there, because I just kind of want to see where you guys are at. And I just started that group on there, and it's Living with Lupus Mag on Twitter. And my hashtag, or whatever you want to call it at, is at D Lynn, Queen D Lynn. That's me, y'all. That's me. Yeah, I guess I get that one out there so people will know who it is. So, yeah, that's how you contact me, okay? If you want to ask a quick question or something like that, a private question, you can send me, drop me a line at livingwithlupusmagazine@gmail.com, and I will respond. If I don't respond right away, it will be within 48 hours of a response. Okay? Now, the reason why I say that is because I have so many things going on in my life. If you live in the Fayetteville, North Carolina area, yes, I just told y'all where I am. I am in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I will be doing a session speaking. I'll be speaking on December the 5th. Please stay tuned. Today is what, the 8th, I think it is, November 8th. So please stay tuned for the location of where this speaking engagement is going to happen at and who else is going to be involved. I know that I will be the primary speaker, so if you want to join us, you may. Again, this is Debra Dixon-Kinzer with Lupus Online Video Magazine. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that I helped you in your journey. I want you to know that you are not alone in your journey with lupus.